Okay, so today we're going to talk about solving a system of equations by graphing. So remember that a system of linear equations consists of two or more linear equations in the same variables. So here we have 4x plus 3y equals 5 and 2x minus y equals 5. So this is important. The solution of a system of linear equations in two variables is an ordered pair that satisfies each equation in the system. So let's think back to when we did the rows problem. Remember how we had two equations for the rows problem? You had roses are us and somebody else, flower power. You had roses are us and flower power, and they each had an equation that satisfied their amount. So we took those two and we graphed them, and where they intersected, that's where they cost the exact same amount. Do y'all remember that? So this is very similar to that. So here we have these two lines, and if we solved these two lines out, you would have y is equal to 4/3 x plus, negative 4/3 x plus 5/3, and they graph that line over here. All right, and then they graph this other line, y is equal to 2x minus 5, and they graphed that line, and they said, hey, these two lines, the solution is going to be right here at 2, -1. So how do we know what a solution to a system of equations is? It is where they intersect. Here is Ms. Sokolowski to do an example for you.
All right, guys, so we had this example, -x plus 3y equals 9 and 4x minus y equals 8. If I'm going to solve this by graphing, the first thing I need to do is get both of these equations into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to take my first equation, solve for y. Okay, you guys can be pausing the video and solving for y yourselves. So I get y equals 1/3 x plus 3 as my first equation. So I'm going to graph that right now. I begin with my y-intercept, which is at 3. That's my starting position. From there, I'm going to move my slope, which is 1/3. So I rise 1, run 3. And then continue that process. Okay, so you guys should be graphing these at home on your graph paper. And I can draw my line to represent that equation. And then I am ready for my next one. My next equation is 4x minus y equals 8. Remember, I need this in slope-intercept form, so I'm solving for y. I get a negative y there. Pay attention to that. Now I need to divide everything by -1 to get a positive y, so that leaves me y equals positive 4x minus 8. So here I'm going to graph this one in red. My y-intercept is -8, so I begin there. From there, I'm going to move my slope, which is positive 4, so I rise 4 and run 1. Continue that process. Oh, that's important, that point I just made. I just had to overlap. Okay, my blue dot and my red point were on top of each other. So that point right there represents the solution to this system. It's where the two lines intersected. That point is 3, 4. So that is the solution to my system of equations. That point satisfies both equations. Last one right here, 3x plus y equals 7 and -2x plus y equals -8. I want you guys to graph this one on your graph paper tonight. Bring it in. We'll check it tomorrow. Have a good night.